Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and I'm kind of in a new position, which actually, after watching this film, it's not bad to lay down after it. And that is the film Requiem for a Dream, directed by Darren Aronofsky. And this is a pretty damn good film. I don't know why I felt the urge to watch this film again, mainly because I had not seen it in a long time, and wanted to give it another look. And pretty much the film, to me, it is a horror film. I mean, it's more haunting and more crazy than any horror film I've seen this year or last year. And technically, it's not a horror film. It's about, you have four people. You have Jared Leto, who's going to be the Joker in Suicide Squad. His girlfriend played by Jennifer Connelly. His mother, played by Ellen Burstyn, and his buddy, played by Marlon Wayans. And it's about drug addiction and where these four who are connected, where their lives lead to because of addiction. And can't really say this is a happy movie, but this is one of those movies that if anyone is addicted to drugs, or if you know anyone who's addicted to drugs, sit their heads down and watch this movie and go, yeah, now be scared straight, lay off the drugs, get cleaned up. It's pretty much details Jared Leto barely sees his mom, Ellen Burstyn, who did a fantastic job in this film. Ellen Burstyn, the only thing she has is this small little apartment. Her son, which once in a while he comes by just to pawn her TV so he can get some smack. But then Jared Leto's not a total asshole because you do feel for him. He does apologize. There's a great scene where he realizes that his own mom gets addicted to diet pills, and there's certain dialogue which I'll get to. Really great performances. And it just really shows how addiction can come in more than just one form. It's not just, oh, cocaine or heroin or smack, but even something as simple as diet pills, which is sad but true. But Jared Leto uses drugs with his girlfriend, Jennifer Connelly, and with his buddy Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans, I like Marlon Wayans. I've never hated Marlon Wayans. I liked him in quite a few stuff. But a film like this shows that he could do dramatic work. Of the four, he's the least used. But when he's there, he's a solid supporting role. But getting back to what I was saying, the three of them decide, hey, we take drugs. What if we buy some? We cut them in half or whatever, and we start selling. We can make money and live out our dreams. Marlon Wayans, once in a while he thinks about his mom who has passed away and her taking care of him when he was a kid, and he wants to get out of his shitty neighborhood. Jared Leto and Jennifer Connelly kind of wants to get away from her parents, even though they give her money and stuff, but I guess she sort of feels suffocated by her parents, and she wants to, start a store, and Jared Leto's like, oh, I'm going to help you, we're going to raise this money, they have all these dreams. One dream that Jared Leto has, is a daydream, however you want to call it, is kind of, really enough, it reminds me of another Jennifer Connelly flick, Dark City, where what Rufus Sewell sees in the daylight and someone by not quite a balcony, but looking into the ocean. Kind of reminds me of that. And what makes this film work is not only the great performances, the direction by Darren Aronofsky. Because I've seen some of the other guys' stuff. The Fountain, Honestly, I have to give The Fountain another shot. I have to give The Fountain another shot. Because I only saw that once, and I remember it just being confusing, but I wanted to give it another shot. Pi, I only saw that film once. I remember that film being a little bit confusing as well. I know at one time he was approached to do the remake, reboot of RoboCop, and I'm thinking, this guy? After watching this film again, I don't think you need a reboot of RoboCop, but despite the one that we got, the generic as shit fast food product, and I like fast food, but that's like the shitty fast food that gives you diarrhea. I would have been more interested to see what Darren Aronofsky would have done after watching this film again. Because I remember liking it the first time, but man, it's a really haunting movie. So I keep doing this. Like, it's just I'm thinking of some of the stuff in this. The way it's directed. Well, anytime when someone uses drugs and the quick editing, the close-ups of the pills, and getting the injection, and the pupils going phew, and the soundtrack. Of course, you have that famous one. Do 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 do. I want to say it's Chronos Quartet, I believe. I believe that's what they're called, and the score itself by I believe Clint Mansell did the score. Love the score. It's a creepy score that down 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 down. Like, very creepy music at times, just fits the film well. And about just how everything just goes downhill. I mean, Ellen Burstyn, she gets a phone call saying that she's going to be on TV. They don't know when. She gets excited because pretty much all she does is watch this TV show with Christopher McDonald hosting. We've got a winner. We've got a winner. And she's so excited about it. She wants to put on this red dress, and it doesn't fit. So she wants to go on a diet. At first, she's going to go on a regular diet, just not eating that much. And just certain little directing things. For example, she has a hard-boiled egg, a grapefruit, and coffee. As you see Ellen Burstyn look down, and then it cuts to a shot of the grapefruit. All of a sudden, you hear a crunch, and boom, it's gone. Like the inside is gone. Then it cuts to her doing like this. And then it cuts to the hard-boiled egg. And you hear a crack, and boom, the egg's been cracked, and whatever's in it's gone. And then she looks to the coffee, and slurp, boom, the coffee's gone. Just the way it's edited, certain scenes where when they're getting out of their head and the camera's right here and it's moving with them like this, just that sort of disorienting feeling, like a living nightmare. I mean, that's sort of what Requiem for a Dream is. It's a living nightmare. And it's a film that should sober drug addicts. Like, hey, if you don't watch it, watch this. And usually, yeah, there's a lot of movies that I did. I'm like, it's pretty depressing. It's not my cup of tea. But this one, it's the unfortunate truth. When you go that drug addiction route, hopefully you wind up with the happy ending, or you could wind up like this. So I get sort of the message that it's saying. And because it's well directed and well acted, and the music, I think, fits perfectly. And it's just a damn good film. But Marlon Wayans, Connelly, Jared Leto, they decide, we're going to sell this stuff. And just the crazy stuff that happens that take you by surprise. Like Marlon Wayans is talking with these people, and then all of a sudden, I believe they're in a limo, and the front seat, the little window bar goes down, and boom, gunshot. And blood hits Marlon Wayans right in the face. or emotional scenes. Like I was talking about how Ellen Burstyn's dear Ray, she wants to be on TV, but she's having a hard time doing the natural way, and then someone mentions, oh, you have diet pills and a doctor could give it to you. And the doctor, in a way, is a piece of shit, because later on she tried to ask for help, and the doctor's like, oh, whatever, yeah, just here's a slip, now get out of here. But sadly, I believe that. Not all doctors, but there are some that act that way. And, like, she's the one, like, they all have film time, so to speak. They all have screen time. But it seems like Ellen Burstyn is the one, sort of the heart of the picture. And hers is the most tragic, because she just seems like a nice lady. And she takes these diet pills. And the scene where Jared Leto, he comes in to apologize, says, hey, I have this business, and I'm sorry. I want to buy you a new TV. I'm sorry for the stuff that's happened. And she talks about some stuff, and he realizes that she's on something. Are you on uppers? And she's like, no, it's diet pills, and they give me these. And Jared Leto was begging his mom to stop taking them, and she's like, but I gotta, get fit for my dress so I could be on TV. And great dialogue, heartfelt scene where she's like, I have to find a reason to get up in the morning. I have to find a reason to smile. Your father's gone. Those people, they're not really my friends. You're never around. What else do I have? And the way she said it, and then Jared Leto says some stuff and is in a car and he's crying. But then, of course, he shoots up and to forget about the pain. And that's what you see a lot in this, too. Either they're so lonely in this vacuum like Ellen Burstyn that they want that dream, hence Requiem for a Dream. They want that dream to be on TV, to fit in this red dress that she doesn't realize she's destroying her life, taking these diet pills, getting thinner and thinner. I mean, having hallucinations of the fridge and like her whole room becoming this TV station, and Jared Leto has this awful mark on his arm that gets worse and worse and blacker and blacker, purplish. There's a point where him and Marlon Wayans try to get these drugs, but then there's a gunfire and they have to run for it. Oh, they could just keep digging themselves in deeper. Oh, we'll go over here so we can get some here. Jared Leto's arm starts hurting. He's got to go and get into the hospital. And of course, the doctors realize, oh, these are drug users. They get put in jail. The entire finale. Jennifer Connelly and Jared Leto having a fight, and Jennifer Connelly, she's in it pretty bad, and to the point that she's got to use her body, sex, to get money and to get drugs. First, I believe, for a psychiatrist, and then goes to this guy, sort of a pimp type of guy, played by Keith David. I forgot, like, oh my god, Keith David is in this, being a very creepy character. Like a slimy character. He's in it for a tiny bit, like, oh my god, I forgot Keith David was in this movie. And this is just such a... I don't use the word powerful a lot. And, like, there's a lot of, what you call, critically acclaimed movies that I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy The Shawshank Redemption. I enjoy Rear Window. I enjoy the Star Wars and Indiana Jones films. Most of them are highly praised. The original 3 Star Wars and such. You give me a list. Forrest Gump I love. Apollo 13, Castaway I enjoy. There's another one that was critically acclaimed, and I understand why. Because the ending, it's depressing. On the other end, no one really dies. It's just where addiction will lead you. Where they're all now separated. Ellen Burstyn, she pretty much gets put into this facility. And she gets the electric shock treatment. Jennifer Connelly, there's a great scene where Jared Leto says, "Oh, I'll come home tonight. Just wait for me." And great Jennifer Connelly acting. You know, a tear runs down. She's like, "Okay, I'll wait," but she knows it's not really going to happen. And she uses her sets for money. Oh, anyway, she does, performing this really vulgar sex act, ass to ass with another woman, with all these people watching and hollering and yelling, go, "Yeah, yeah." Pretty much as if she was a hooker or such, a stripper, however you want to call it. Jared Leto has to get his arm cut off. Marlon Wayans is put in the jail, and you tell some of the cops are racist and give him a hard time. And the editing in this film is very well done. There's so many instances of great editing, like this sequence where it's going between these four instances and their worst point in their life. Marlon Wayans getting berated by guards, Ellen Burstyn getting shot, Jennifer Connelly in this horrible sex act with another woman, in front of all these guys. Jared Leto getting his arm cut off. Like, the way it's edited, it's not confusing, it's not annoying, but it just really ratchets it up the film. And there's certain points where there's a split screen, certain points where, again, when Ellen Burstyn is really out of it, the camera's like right here and it's moving with her. I don't use the word powerful a lot, but it bears repeating that. And even going to each of the four and they sort of curl in a fetal position. And people would say, "Oh, that's really hammering home," but it works well for this movie. I think the director knew what he was doing. Marlon Wayans, people who say he can't act, you watch a film like this, it's like, hey, he can. Jared Leto, I never really had problems with him. He'll still get lynched because people don't compare him to Heath Ledger, Joker, when Suicide Squad comes out, but I've never minded Jared Leto. I believe he was in that Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey, which I want to see sometime because I like the actors. Ellen Burstyn, I feel the most sorry for, the character-wise, and she has this dream that, oh, she did get on TV, and there's her son who's healthy and successful and hugging her, and, oh, everything's going to be okay. It's just such a, like, Jesus, if you drink alcohol, man, you want to drink after that. But goddamn. But it's like a great wake-up call for drug addiction. And I keep talking about the performances and the acting and the directing, the editing, the music, Clint Mansell's score, and also that da, 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 na, 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 just all works very, very well. And I'm trying to think of the movies that deal with drug addiction. I remember seeing one with James Woods called The Boost. I remember that being okay, mainly for James Woods' performance. But this one, just great style, and you feel like a sense of dread. Like, this is going to end up well. And, this says, if you're wondering, I actually didn't get a lot lately, but I bought this used. That's why I kept looking down. And like I was saying before, I don't know what I wanted to see again, but it made me think of it. Then I saw it at the store. I'm like, what, I'm going to pick it up. And I didn't buy much lately. Again, this is one of the only ones. Uh, this one, a film called The January Man with Kevin Kline, a film called The Firm with Tom Cruise. So there's three. That's why I didn't do an update. There's only three of them, but this one it is a powerful movie. It's a great flick about drug addiction. I like the way it's done with the menu here. It looks like an old infomercial that you would see on Home Shopping Network or something. quite a few features, commentary by the director, commentary by the DP, behind the scenes of the film, some deleted scenes. They interview a person who is addicted to drugs, trailers, TV spots, so on and so forth. But yeah, Requiem for a Dream says a director's cut, so I don't know what was added and such, but this is definitely worth a look. I don't know why I didn't show this beforehand. I guess I was just sort of still reeling from watching the film, but it's good. I think this is pretty damn good filmmaking. Great. I love my guts and gore horror films. I love fun action films, but I do like dramas as well. It's just usually I talk about action horror because those are my two favorite genres, but films like these are still good filmmaking. And maybe because I've seen so many shitty movies lately this year. There's been some good ones, The Kingsman, Avengers 2 I liked, but I didn't know if I should review all the Marvel films first and so on, but I've said that before in another video. There's been some others. Diddy Up the Marrow, I liked Everly, I liked Skin Trade, I liked Spy, I liked It Follows. But then there's some pretty crappy ones. And so, I want to see some pretty damn good filmmaking. And if you've never seen Requiem for a Dream, I would say give it a look. I'm not sure if you should watch it on a date, because it's not a date movie. But hey, if you know someone on drugs, have them watch this movie, and maybe they'll be like, okay, you know what, I gotta clean up. I gotta move on with my life. I gotta get some shit out of my basement. But yeah, Ellen Burstyn, I mean, just that character with diet pills, and it goes to show you there's a lot of addictions. And how, you need to take control of it, otherwise they take control of you. That's kind of a part of the film as well. I mean, the addictions really do take control of them, and thus the sort of spiral down the shitter, so to speak. But anyway, maybe it's not the most upbeat movie, but I can understand why. There's certain films that are like, wow, that seems like out of the blue to do that. This, I understand perfectly why. I understand perfectly why. And it makes sense, and it's not out of the blue, it's not pointless. There is a point to it, and I understand the point to it. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on Requiem for a Dream. Did it say what year this came out? I think around the year 2000. But yeah, Requiem for a Dream. Well worth the look, at least to me. I forgot Artisan releases. God, I forgot all about Artisan. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.